that we don't begin to say, woe is me. Oh, my life is miserable. Why is everything always happening to me? Why? Hello? We have to be careful because, see, that is the trick of the devil to get you to murmur and complain about what God is doing in your life. You say, well, I didn't say anything about God. No, but you are. If you have submitted your life and committed your life to Christ, and you complain when things don't go your way, I'm going to be honest with you. There's times I get up and grab my pants and go to put them on, and I have a hard time getting them on. I start complaining. I'm like, I didn't have this problem when I was young. I didn't have this problem when I was thin, is what I probably should say. But I look at some of you and I see that, as Sister Phyllis told me one day, she said, Brother Tim, she said, old age is creeping up. I ain't creeping up on you, it pounced on you. But I see old age is slowly catching up to us. Some of us are, we struggle with breathing. Some of us have a hard time walking. I found myself the other day, I had a pair of shoes. I had these Nikes that I usually wear, but when the weather's bad, rain and snow, whatever, I have these other shoes that I wear, and they're probably several years old now, and I was walking them the other day, and I get out of the car, and I kind of felt unstable. And I'm delivering food, so I'm getting out quite often. And I'm like, and I'd have to, plus, sitting in the car for an hour or so, when you get up, your legs are weak. And so I'm finding myself having to steady myself. Amen? And every one of us here has gone through something physically. And if we're not careful, we'll begin to complain. Amen? And we may not realize that we're complaining against God, but in reality we are. When we start to complain about things not being the way we want them to be. How many of you know that this is earth?
Yes.
And everything on earth doesn't go the way you want it to. When Adam sinned, part of the curse was that he would start to labor from the sweat of his brow. That the weeds would come up and fight him, that everything would oppose him. And that curse still exists today. And until we leave this world and get into glory, we're going to have struggles and opposition. But we have to learn to overcome the opposition with the mouth full of praise, with the heart full of gratitude toward God for giving us the strength to overcome.
Amen.
Amen? To be thankful that I'm no longer in the hospital, sissy. To be thankful that I'm not in a wheelchair anymore. Bug? Amen? To be thankful that your leg's not hurting anymore. My problem was when my leg was hurting, someone would say, what's your problem? I said, I got sciatic. Oh, that never goes away. I've had people tell me that. I even read about it, and they said it can occur, it can reoccur at any time. I'm like, devil, you a liar.
Amen.
I still have a numbness in my left foot. I still have a little bit of pain on occasions in my calf. And every time I feel it, by your stripes. By your stripes, I'm healed.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. But we have to learn to quit complaining and murmuring all the time. And the reason I'm saying that is because we look at a people. I'd even forgot just recently that my daughter's mother passed away.
Oh, yeah.
2 years ago. And my biggest concern was she ready to meet the Lord? And the Lord dropped it in my spirit. She came back twice. They revived her twice. She had her chance. And I know her. I know her heart was sensitive to the things of God. I was talking to her about the Lord earlier that day. So I believe in all my heart. She's ready. She's there. Amen. When I get there, she'll be one of those that'll meet me. Hopefully she'll thank me for praying for her and for talking to her about Jesus. Amen. 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 So we look and we see that the children of Israel, that everything that didn't go their way, complained. I mean, they came out of Egypt and they camped by Mount Sinai. Moses was in the mountain receiving the law. And while he's up there receiving the law, they're camped at the foot of the mountain. And they began to worship a calf that Aaron somehow threw the gold in the fire and out came a calf. Read it. He says, Moses said, what are you doing, man? I'm paraphrasing. He said, what are you doing, Aaron? He says, I threw the gold in the fire and out came a calf. I mean, that's a miracle.
Yeah.
But they were having a wild, paganistic worship that included naked orgies. Children of God. Children of God who had just been delivered after seeing 9 plagues, 10 plagues, 9 mercies and 1 plague. After seeing the plagues that brought them out of Egypt. After seeing the Red Sea, as we said last week, open up and they went across on dry land. Now they're down there worshiping a pagan because they can't see Moses.
Right.
I remember there was a time that when Pastor Gary was pastoring, when Gary Reed was pastoring, that Gary would go out of town and he would ask me to run the service. And everyone would hear Gary wasn't there, so they didn't show up.
That's right. They do that.
Instead of having 60, 70 people that we normally would have, there might be 15 people. Like, where are you at? Pastor's not there. I don't see Moses. I'm not accountable if Moses isn't here.
Come on.
Are you listening to me?
Come on.
When I pastor, I was thinking I'm writing a second book, and I'm at the point where your mom just got out of the hospital. And now I have it written I haven't written about what's next. I wrote a few other things in the middle of the book, but I haven't written because this is the most difficult part when your dad left the church.
Right.
Amen?
Yes.
But it has to be told
Yes.
because it's the truth.
Yes.
Amen? And I was thinking last night about all the people that was faithful to that church until Brother Pierce left. They left in droves, it seemed like. First, his family left. People that were in church every service, now they're gone. They're gone. They're not there. And then others started to leave. And then others wasn't happy with the new pastor. They loved him for 20 years, but now all of a sudden,
Come on.
he's not equipped to be our pastor. So they started to leave. Amen? Why? Because Moses wasn't there. Are you listening to this? Who do you serve? Do you serve the pastor? Or do you serve Moses? Or do you serve the creator of the universe?
Come on.
Yes.
I want you to know when I'm not here, you need to be here.
Right.
Amen. Amen.
I know you love me. And I love you. And I miss people when they're not here. And I know you probably miss me on days that I can't be here. But I'm not your God.
That's right.
Jesus is your God. And He'll be here whether I'm here or not.
That's right. Amen. Come on.
If the Lord decides to take me home prematurely, Lord, please, that's just a phrase. I really don't want that to happen. But if the Lord decides to take me home, are you going to still serve God?
Oh, yes.
Amen.
Amen.
I can't take you to heaven.
That's right.
Brother Pierce used to talk about all the time, you can't ride to heaven on my shirt tail, my coat tail.
That's right.
Amen. If I can possibly grab you and pull you along with me, I will. But if you start to slow me down, I got to let go, baby.
That's right.
Amen. Amen. So we look and we see that because of Moses not being there,